and welcome to my basic use of Final Cut Pro. This is lesson 1. Lesson 1 is going to go through with you which window it is and what its photography job is. So let's get started. To the top left hand corner, this window here is called the browser. The browser, one of the first photography jobs you'll be using it for, is importing all your media into the browser. So that's from like a camera or any other source, from hard drives, any source. So if you look, I've already got one folder already in. So there we are. So these here, these are all video files, and this one here is a audio. So if we go, that's the first thing you'll be using in the browser for, is your media. The second thing you'll be using the browser for is here, the effects. So if you look, it's got from the top, it's got your video, from the top it's got your favourites, video transitions, video filters, and same. So that's what you'll be using mostly, the video transitions, the video filters, maybe the audio transitions and audio filters in this basic use of Final Cut Pro tutorial. That's what we're using. If you look at my favourites, I've got one of my favourite ones, three-way colour. So if you do a project and you're using one lot thin, so let's say we're using in this one here, glow. What you got to do is drop it into your favourites, and now stay a hunt for your glow. It's already there, it's already in there. If you don't like it anymore, you got to push this backspace and it's gone. Backspace and it's gone. All you got to push. So that's basically what you're going to be using the browser for. So importing your media before you're editing it, and your video effects and filters. Right next to the video, right next to the browser, we have the mirror. So if I double click on one of my something in my browser, like say eyes open, there we are. And it's got, now you push space and you got it, play it. Push space again. Push space again. It stops. So for the viewer, you'll be using it for watching stuff in the browser, and mainly for tweaking maybe your three-way colour or other effects. So that's what you're basically using it for. So watching stuff in the browser and tweaking stuff, effects, that's basically what you'll be using it for. Right next to the viewer, you've got the canvas, this one here. One opened and closed itself. This here is what you'll be, basically what you'll see, what's in the timeline, what I'll get to next. So that's what you use it for. It's like the viewer, but instead of seeing stuff in the browser, you see stuff in the timeline. You don't do any effects. You don't add effects to this. You add it in. That's what the viewer is. And also in the canvas, if you've got something in the viewer, you can always drop it over and go overwrite. And yes, you want it to put it as so. So now I put something in the timeline. So if you look in the canvas and the view and the timeline, whatever my timeline scrubs over, you see in the viewer. So say we want to see car and dirt road. Also, you can push these here to do overwriting it. It's the red one's override. So there, that will do a simple cut for you. So he opens his eyes and it'll do a car driving in. So wherever your timeline scrubs over, you'll see in your canvas as it's playing. If you push space, you can see it's working, and push space again, it'll pause it. So canvas is whatever the timeline scrubs over, you'll see on the canvas play thing. Yeah. The timeline is where you put all your videos in and all your everything in. So let's get to the next one. The next one is your tool palette. Yes, your tool palette. The tool palette is just your tools. So you got your arrow, your blade, your crop, your pen tool, the roll tool. Right next to so for your tool palette, you'll be using it just to use your tools, simple tools you got there. Right next to your tool palette, you got your audio meters. Your audio meters, this one here. Yeah, if you had audio, so let's add some audio to our sequence. Look now, you can see the audio meters are moving as the music changes. And that is a simple way to see where your audio levels are, but there are much more better audio meters in Final Cut Pro you'll be using in this Final Cut Pro tutorial. So that is basically what each window is and what you use, part of the job is and what you'll be using it for. So let's go quickly over what each window is and what you use it for. So your browser is where you import all your media from camera, any other source. The first tab, the second tab where all your effects belong, and all the other ones. Actually, about the effects you can actually buy better effects. You can buy ones that cost 4 or 5 grand. If you're doing a professional editing, and you're making maybe 25, you're making a movie, 4 or 5 grand for one effect to make more money does not matter. So I thought I'd say that. The viewer is where you'll see anything in your browser and anything you're going to do effects. So let's add effect quickly. Let's add the color key. So there we are. There we are. So look, now you've got your color key 1, color key 2. Whoops. Let's get rid of the first color key. Never used color key before. So that's where you do your effects. So I'd add a color key. Yeah, color key. Yeah, color key. So that's the viewer. That's where you be adding That's where you be doing your effects in the viewer. The canvas. That's what you'll see. Anything what your time head scrub is in your timelines over. So it won't show anything else. It won't show the time. That's for instance. Don't know what it would show the time, but it wouldn't show the time. Right next to the big one, the big window at the bottom is your timeline. Your timeline is where all your videos, your audio tracks we put in, and you'll be cutting them down. That's where you would probably do most of your editing in and looking. That's the two you probably be most using. 2 windows is probably your timeline and your canvas the most. And then after you finish off, you probably use your timeline, your viewer, your timeline, and your canvas in that order. So your timeline is where all your video and audio tracks are in as you're editing. That's where you put them. But next to the timeline, you've got your tool palette. Your tool palette is where your simple tools you probably use the most in Final Cut Pro. So that's from your arrow and your blade probably, and your crop, your pen, probably the ones used the most in this tutorials series. So next to that, we got our audio meters. Audio meters is a simple way, instead of having a whole different window open for your audio meters, it's just small and simple. You can see where your how high your audio is. It's not going to be too high. So this is lesson 1. Lesson 1 went through with you what each window is and what your private job is. Hope you enjoyed it. Please watch lesson 2 or any other tutorials next. Thank you.